welcome to the weekly podcast show without a name. I don't have a name at the moment for this thing. Times have changed. I'm Phil Davis, and I am recording here in the bunker tonight. Been a big week in Canale Travel Cup draws, and I've got a special, very special guest tonight. The King of Comedy, Tim Brown. Welcome back.
Phil, always a pleasure to be here down in the bunker.
How's it going with the jokes at training at Olympic? They take them on?
Well, I've got the same jokes. I've just brought them over from one club to another. Unfortunately, I've brought some of the players with me, so they've heard most of them, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Of course, you've got the same players. So, yeah, look, I'll kick it off. Congratulations, last season, double champions. Well, you won the title and you won the grand final.
Yeah, it was very pleasing because Olympics had very limited success over the years. But look, we're very, very happy, and we built a good squad, and we're hopeful of continuing to do well this year, proving to be more difficult this season. The quality is a little bit better, but look, we were happy to win the league and the grand final and represent Queensland against Sydney United, which was a good occasion for the club, and good to see Queensland against the other states.
Yeah, and of course it's Queensland football that's the important thing, and that's why we're doing this. Well, that's why I'm doing this. That day in the grand final, you had 3,000 or 4,000. The same day at Rochdale, there was like about 1,500. The Canale Cup, Elaine Watson Cup Day, and that says a lot for Queensland football. We can get that many people out on the one day.
It was a fantastic day, and I did watch the highlights of the Canale Cup final. And look, it's great to see a number of people. Olympic was packed. You had to wait 40 minutes to get something to eat. So yeah, if it continues like that, and signs are good. The numbers this year, I think, have been a little bit better. And let's hope with the interest in the new FFA Cup that we can get some good crowds in the next month or so.
Which brings me to the FFA Cup, the Canale Travel Cup. The draw's coming out this week. You drew Centenary.
Yeah, don't know much about Centenary, but I'm probably going to go over and have a look at certainly their ground, and we may pop over and see them play just to make sure that there's no surprises. But look, we're more than happy to draw Centenary. Certainly better than probably drawing Lions or something like that. So, we're looking forward to the match, and hopefully we can progress and move on and into the bigger games to come later on.
What's your general feel on the Canale Cup, FFA Cup? I think it's fantastic. Doing the draw the other day and getting, Olympic and City and just having those clubs back in, it just felt to me like we're almost sort of complete as a footballing state.
Yeah, watch the draw. I watched you in your suit. Very, very impressive, I thought. I watched the highlights too. Holland Park against UQ and some of the other matches as well. There seems to be a great interest all throughout football Queensland, football Brisbane, and some of those showpiece games, and even the smaller clubs. It's fantastic. I hope we get a good crowd out there. Kangaroo Point Rovers, I think, playing Peninsula Power, who Kangaroo Point had a good run last year. So look, there's interest. The players are quite keen. We're obviously quite keen to play against. I know Kazu the other day, our Japanese player, was saying he'd love to play against Peninsula, and I'm sure Maka would see it the same way.
Well, I'm sure that every spectator in Brisbane would love to see. And for me, it's the one thing that we're lacking at the moment is that lack of that Olympic. From as long as I've been involved in the local game, last year's Olympic team's the best one I've ever seen. And for me, it was just such a shame I didn't get, to see play against Peninsula or Wolves. But I just get a great feeling from the spectators around the grounds. It's like someone's connected, and the people who aren't as connected, like the parents and that, they know what's going on. And I think as we get closer to the end, it'll be even more so. You're obviously with the players. What's their feeling regarding the actual FFA Cup bit with the 32 teams at the end?
I think, the players are excited. Again, we want to play against those good sides, and I'm just looking across the draw there. Me as a football spectator would love to go and watch Redlands versus Wolves. Yep. Differing styles. A few Scottish players, a few American players, two of the better sides in Brisbane, coached by two very, very good coaches. So, we're going to see different styles. We're going to see different leagues. People go, oh, this league's better, that league's better. Well, they're going to play against each other. doesn't really define which is the better league. But look, there's good matches, and hopefully people in Brisbane can get out and watch some decent football, which is what it's all about, really.
Yeah, it absolutely is what it's all about. I just like the way the draws came out, because it's quite a good match across the whole, like Ipswich versus Western Pride. I mean, obviously, you just can't script that, really. But, Capalaba versus Strikers. Now, I would say Strikers would be favourite for that, but Capalaba will have a good chance, Brisbane City versus Logan. You would think City would be favourite as well, but Logan, I've seen them play. They're improving, and, you just don't know. So I guess your aim is to win the Cup this year?
Our aim is to beat Centenary Stormers and then see who we get next.
Cliche number one.
Yes. So, we go into every comp. We went into the Silver Boot to win it. We didn't. We're trying to win the NPL League this year and then move on to the grand final. And again, trying to represent Football Queensland in the NPL Interstate Challenge, and obviously the FFA Cup. I mean, a carrot of playing against, I don't know, Adamstown out of Newcastle or Adelaide City out of Adelaide or an A-League club, is a fantastic carrot, whether it be Wynnum Peninsula or Olympic or Brisbane City.
Yep.
Either way, it's going to represent Queensland football against the other states. Last year, Sydney United, we did well against them. Me personally, I wanted to play against an Adelaide side, so I'd love to play against a team from Adelaide or a team from Tasmania. We would be looking forward to play any of those, and I'm sure any of the players and coaches in this competition would be likewise. Yeah,
I think this is what could actually sort of define it this year. Is once we get to that stage, just say randomly, Olympic get Sydney United at Olympic.
Yep.
I think you find the whole Brisbane football community will turn out. I think it will be completely irrelevant, and every single person will be supporting Olympic.
Yep.
You'll get City supporters who are supporting Olympic, which is heresy, as you know.
Yep. Yeah, well, I mean, imagine if it was Brisbane Olympic against Sydney Olympic.
Oh,
I'm certain you'd get a fair crowd, or Brisbane City versus Melbourne Juventus, Adelaide Juventus. So, it's a good concept, and it's a good concept, and we hope to do well.
Well, I think the Brisbane team's going to win the whole thing. Not the Brisbane Roar.
Well, the Brisbane Roar would. Yeah. We certainly wouldn't want to be drawing them.
Yes, no, you wouldn't want to be drawing them. But seriously, from your perspective where you are coaching at Olympic and you're a high-quality side, you've had a couple of interesting results lately, but this is football. A club like Perth Glory are basically not very good at the moment. You'd be competitive against them, wouldn't you?
Having played the Roar over the last 5 years, and last year when we played them, they were the best Raw side that we've played. I do think, watching the games on the A-League, I think the A-League has actually gone up a level, and I believe that they would be clearly better than any side in any of the state league. Training 5 nights a week, budget of whatever it is, $2.5 million. You really shouldn't get close to them. Whether it's Perth Glory or any of those sides, I really just don't think that we would be good enough, especially... you were going to play on a decent pitch. The Arcan knock it around. Look, it's going to be difficult. Yeah,
of course, the one leveler will be that they're out of season, and we, of course, we the football community will be in season. But it's going to be a very, very look. We just wrapped over it. Well, I can't believe I'm on an afternoon shift. It's driving me insane at the moment. I can't get it to any games, but just on the teams that are. I would imagine that Tim Brown would have a fairly good idea about the other teams from Brisbane NPL. I fancy Redlands to be the best team running around in the NPL at the moment. Do you think that's fair enough?
Well, they've signed some pretty decent players. Obviously Nico Betchar, the French guy that they brought in from Sunshine Coast, is quality. Getting Reece Meredith back has been a big boost for them. Graham Fife has always been quality and is a handful. A little bit leaky at the back. Got a few younger players at the back, but in Scotty Bowe and Zach Bratton, they've got some decent players there as well. So, look, they're a good side, but there are a lot of good sides in the NPL. Our next 2 games, for example, are Moreton Bay doing well, and Redlands. We've just come off playing Malaysia, the Raw Youth. Yep. So, look, there's some good sides in the competition. I couldn't say who's going to win it, and there's a bye in there as well. Redlands have not had the bye yet, so there's a lot of sides that have had the bye. Palmy are undefeated, so it's a good comp.
Yeah, I think Reynolds might have the bye in the next round from memory.
They do.
Yeah. So this could define your season on the NPL. Moreton Bay and Reynolds in the next 2 games. If you lose both of those, you pretty much can't win the title, can you?
It would be. I think you'll find that a lot of sides will beat each other this year.
Yep.
So I think it's this week Strikers versus City, or the next game that's coming up. So there are difficult games all the way through. Malaysia have only played 4. Once they start kicking on a little bit, you'll find that they'll be thereabouts as well. Sunshine Coast have had a fair run. You just need to link together 4 or 5, 3 or 4 wins, and have a bit of a run, and then all of a sudden you're at the top. I don't think the team's going to go through and just lose 4 games and win the league. I don't think that's going to be possible this year.
Yeah, look, I think that is in the Brisbane Premier League. I think that's going to be the defining thing. It's obviously Wolves and Peninsula, and they're snuck away at the top. I think Lions have already lost the title chance because they've already dropped too many points. But you still follow the Brisbane Premier League, don't you?
I do, yes.
What's your impressions as an outsider who's not actually coaching a team? What's your impressions this year? Be brutally frank, because I know you are.
Yeah, well, obviously I do. Peninsula Power have built a very, very good squad with quite a few imported players as well, along with Wynnum. So those 2 sides, are clearly maybe a little bit ahead of the pack. Easts under Steve Glockner have a strong squad and are doing obviously very, very well. Lions have the squad to win the league still. I know. Obviously, they've won a couple. If they were to go round in the next round and beat Wynnum and Peninsula, they would be back in the hunt. I wouldn't underestimate Lions at this stage, but it looks like those 4 teams are clearly better than the rest of the sides. My old club, Rochdale, obviously finding it a little bit difficult, but I do think that they've got the squad to certainly push on and finish mid-table at least. Once they start to get Anthony Schiavo back, Pat Cronin back to some sort of fitness, they do have a decent squad. So again, there are good teams. There are some bad teams. I do watch it all the time. I love the commentary, and they get fantastic coverage as well. And they have great derbies every week as well. Logan last week versus Rochdale,
fantastic
3-2 game.
So much feeling in it.
Yeah.
It's like Olympic City, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So I follow the BPL. I follow the NPL. I do actually have a little look there and watch Mitchie play Moggle, or I know that's next week. Yeah. So look, I'm a football fan. I look at everything.
Well, it sounds just like me. All right, so I'm going to ask you lastly, because people always debate this. Everywhere I go around the BPL, this, that, and the other, NPL, this, QSL, this, whatever. And I'm just completely, I am neutral on the subject these days. I realised certain people have sent me mental, but anyway. What is your opinion on the comparison relative standard between the 2 leagues?
I think if you were to take Lions, Peninsula, Wolves against any of the sides in the NPL, there would be no difference because we're really drawing from similar pools. Yep. The difference this year that has helped the NPL has been the depth, in that from 1 through to 10, there are good sides. Yeah. That's probably not quite the same this year in the BPL. Doesn't mean that they're better teams overall, but the depth is a lot greater. You know, people go, the teams from the country are not good sides. Townsville beat us last year 6-2. At home, we beat them 5-3, and they were the best team we played last year. Yeah. So we drew away in Cairns. It is quite difficult to go up there. Now they're playing Townsville, are playing in the middle of the day. So it's very, very difficult to play up in those centres. Yeah. So at this point in time, probably a little bit better depth in the NPL, but all the good sides in both competitions would be similar, as proven in the Silver Boot, where matches were quite even. And I'm sure in the NPL, the FFA Cup, all of those games will be well contested, and that's why we'd like to see good crowds out there.
There will be good crowds at the Cup, you can guarantee it. That was the second last thing. The last thing I'm going to ask you for prediction: Brisbane Premier League. Who's going to win the title? Who's going to finish top of the table?
I think Peninsula Power will win it based on Ali Graham and their experienced players that they have. At this point in time, they're having to play Butters at right back or in the last Cup game against Albany Creek. Yeah. So they've got great depth. I like to see Macca and Warren Moon, 2 younger coaches, come through and take out the title. And, I think they're the best side, obviously going to be closely chased by Wolves, who have some of the best players going around as well. So, look, again, that's the excitement of the BPL. Chuck in Lions, who will have a little bit of a run coming in, and look, the finals with Easts in there, I think, is going to be a good competition.
Yeah, I think it will be too. And from my perspective, looking from the outside in, I have a suspicion that Olympic are not going to finish. You're sixth at the moment on the table, aren't you?
We're sixth, and we haven't had the bye. So, look, difficult for us, and we do need to put a little bit of run of games together.
Yeah, you're not going to finish sixth.
We have not had our best team on the pitch at all. We probably need another striker. So if you know of anybody going around that can score 24 goals, 6 foot, quick and 2-footed, we'd be interested in them.
Good looking as well.
We're all good looking at Olympic.
Of course you are. Yeah. Oh, there's a real dearth of players at the moment as well. I won't talk about that, but I'm Phil Davis. I've been talking to Tim Brown.
Always been a pleasure, and glad to be here.
Nice to. Best of luck, of course, with the Cup. I suspect you might see a lot of people from Centenary out there. So
I hope so. Thank you.